What's going on, YouTube? Zach is back, bringing you another Pokemon Unite replay commentary. This time I'm playing LATIAS, but a little different today. As you can see, I'm wearing my night costume that I finally unlocked, so I'm really excited to have it, and I think it looks great. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. Hope you enjoyed the show. Let me know in the comments what you like. Leave likes and subscribe for more stuff like this. And with that out of the way, let's just get into it. We're laning into Zapdos Squirtle, so it's a very strong enemy lane duo. And I have a very weak lane partner, so my goal is going to develop into being very defensive if I can be. Already we're off to a rough start, but that's sort of how it goes against the duo. Like I said, they're a very strong duo, so if you're not careful early on, they're going to punish you. Squirtle punishes you for being out of position by stunning you and pushing you further out of position, and of course Zapdos punishes you by dealing tons of damage. So it's a very tough duo to lane into early on, especially when they get a level lead like they have. Thankfully, we're able to get a lucky KO to buy us some space and time to catch up a little bit. Unfortunately, the Wartortle still lives and is going to go and bully my teammate, who needs to get the heck out of there if he can. Thankfully, him fighting until he dies means that I actually can level up off of that and get my level 4 for Dragon Pulse, which is really important for LATIAS, obviously. Being able to Eon stack is really helpful, but also being able to heal against a high damage attacker like Zapdos really helps in terms of standing your ground in a lane like this. Looks like top lane is having a rough time, but we're just going to focus on doing our job bottom. That's the best you can do when your enemy, when the other lane is having a hard time, is make sure you're winning your lane. And sometimes something like this happens, which you don't like to see, but you know, we have a visitor now. He's here to help us win our lane, maybe. Maybe not. Can he help us? Nope. Not in time, anyway. We do get the KO anyway, which is kind of nice. Again, my Cinders get to double, so it's very nice for him. He's usually a weak laner early on, so if he gets any KOs, it means he gets extra XP, extra levels, gets closer to 7 when he's actually useful. Here I'm going to decide to branch off and head mid to make sure we get the objective, but I am just a little late, so the Kramer is able to steal it. With 3 of us there, though, we are almost able to trap him off, but with his dives, he's very cleverly able to escape us, and in the meantime, they are pushing bottom and getting scores, which is not what we want either. As you can see, it's overall a rough start for the match, but that makes it all the better for a comeback, right? And of course, I'm checking for the lucky. I see it bottom, and decide that if they're winning bottom, we can't really get it anyway, so I might as well head top and win what we can win. This is something you'll see me do a lot if you watch my other games or if you watch my streams. If I'm losing a lane or if there's a lane that's not going to win, I decide pretty early on to play the other lane and win at least one. It's usually better if you can get a trade on the map than if you lose both lanes. And so here I am trying to manufacture a trade. Blastoise, of course, slowing us down with that, and Surfetch'd here as well. Makes that a little rough. Not what you want to see, but my Cinder does have levels now. My Goodru's starting to get there, hopefully. Other Pokemon are trying to do their best. Really, as a supporter, I'm just doing my best right now to fill in the gaps and help where I can. So I'm just going to head straight back to the top lane, help them out once more. Yep, Cinderace is getting more KOs. I really appreciate that, of course. Goodra evolving, that's nice too. With all our teammates dying, though, we want to make sure that our Cinderace can get out if possible. So I stay long enough to make sure he gets that KO. And the Zapdos should be finished off here. Yep. It's a classic case of him overestimating, I think, the damage output LATIAS has with ult, which a lot of people often do. With Future Sight, I am knocked out, but I am able to get the SP on before I go. Getting a nice double off of that ult. My teammates are fighting here pretty nicely, it seems. The Surfetch is causing us a lot of problems, unfortunately, and we can't really seem to knock him out. It's our biggest threat at present, I think. We're just going to run back in, though, throw ourselves right back into the fray, as is normal for LATIAS, or any supporter. I would say if you're having a game like this, it's kind of rough and annoying, but keep in mind, on LATIAS especially, you can get Eon stacks, so you still have a way to benefit from these exchanges, where a lot of supporters really have a tough time. There I sort of overextend trying to get the KO on the Zapdos, which leaves my teammates a little out to dry without me. But the Machamp ult does secure 2 nice KOs very quickly on the attackers, those very squishy Pokemon that we would normally want to knock out very quickly and easily. Yep, we're still pushing in, we're still snowballing, I like it. I'm going to come right back, help them yet again. Level 10 at 5 minutes is perfectly fine as well, so even though we're behind in XP as a team, we're not really behind individually, and the game is still very winnable. I'm trying to bait the Zapdos here to walk away from his pad so I can heal off of him and fight him a little more, but he does not take the bait, so I'll have to play with my Charizard instead, which is fine. Actually, since top is down, I'm going to get these real quick, just for a little more Eon stacking, a little more XP, help me out in between the fights. Charizard ults and manages to bring the fight to a good point anyway. I'm just going to come and be goalie, get anyone that's on the way out, and if they're not on the way out, we're going to move to the objective. Oh man, I love this costume. I love the two scarves, I think it's really cute. And I like how the night dress is like sort of frilly on the outside. I don't know, I like LATIAS. You guys know that though. Here I managed to ult off nicely, and we're going to push the guy on the pad because he's the furthest one on our side. Normally my priority in fights is to push whoever's furthest towards our side, because it's the easiest to KO, obviously. Unfortunately, what that means here is while our Cinder is bottom, we barely finish off the Cramorant, and the enemy team is able to push into us and knock us out. Not really ideal, but, you know, like I said, we're still able to make a comeback. The thing is, we're actually pretty even on levels. Actually, we're a little up at this point, because we've been farming our side of the map. This is another thing I talk about in games, where if you're losing, sometimes the best thing to do is farm your side of the map where you actually do have XP, instead of fighting the enemy team continually over and over. I mean, that's what I've been doing, but my teammates have been farming in between. I farmed in between a little bit here and there, right now especially. Having all the extra farm means that theoretically your team can keep up on experience if you do keep farming, which we are doing. We're just farming right now since we lost all our T1 pads. They're not really pushing T2s right now. This is actually an ideal situation if you're losing, where the enemy team stops pushing, gives you breathing room, and you're able to catch up with long farm. I think the Goodra is playing the wrong place right now. But as long as we can all show up for Groudon and be ready to go, I don't really mind him doing whatever stupid crap he's doing. I'm just not going to be there for it, most likely. The Cramorant, however, being level 10, being vulnerable on his own, is a much more juicy target. I'm aiming my Mistball to try to catch him if the Machamp gets him. I can easily add to his damage. That's something LATIAS is great at with certain all-rounders. All-rounders that like to grab or pull people in, LATIAS plays great with because she can add a lot of damage to every time they use their moves, obviously. Here I'm just getting XP with this guy, letting him get his cross-chop stacks, since he is 13 with cross-chop plus. Yep, and here I'm just waiting for more farm for Eon stacks. Again, him getting cross-chop stacks is really important too, so I don't want to take all the last hits. And I'm at 80 Eon stacks, which isn't 100, but it's above 75, so it's still pretty good. You have 4 projectiles you're shooting with your Dragon Pulse. That's pretty good burst damage, and it's good AoE damage against multiple targets. We are behind, so we do need this to win, so ultimately our goal should be to take Groudon eventually, but we don't want to force a fight that's not good. We want to sort of take it slow if we can and force them to overextend. Our Machamp, unfortunately, gets knocked out very early on. But as a team, we're able to make use of my ult and the rest of our tools to start whittling away at them. Right? Charizard is doing work. Yep, Goodra is soaking hits as best he can. We're down to 2v3, which is really solid. All that's left now is the Espeon on their side. Oh, and we take her out. This gives us a perfect opportunity to start ripping the objective and try to get the buffs that we need to score the points we need to win the game. We're behind by enough that we need more than 100 to win. So our goal here is just get the buffs so we can get the points we need to score. If we just score, we're still going to be struggling, because really struggling means you're losing by over 100. So if we score 50 bottom and it doubles to 100, we're still going to be losing. We need to get KOs, we need to get the buff there. Unfortunately, the Charizard gets taken out. I am slowly after him. But again, our damage dealers with this Groudon buff are easily able to deal the damage they need to score the points we need to win the game. Love to see it. And this is what I talked about in my Groudon prediction video. Burst damage is really important in the late game, and that makes attackers all around your speedsters really, really valuable. You can see how the burst of Machamp when he grabs people and Cinder is both really, really nice together. And Cinder does something similar that LATIAS does, like I was talking about earlier, in terms of playing off of the Machamp's grabs with the submission. We have enough scored here that we don't need to go and score any more points, but our teammates are still going to push, obviously. just because they can, just because they want to. That's okay. We won the game. Let's celebrate, right? Even though the LATIAS wasn't the star of the show, I think you can see why LATIAS is a great team player, why it really helps to have a LATIAS on your team, and how LATIAS can benefit from team fights. Even if you're not getting experience as much as you would like to be, getting Eon stacks really helps for you preparing for the late game. Hey, Sora, you coming to say hi for the end of the video? Anyway, that's going to be it, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. If you like this content, be sure to leave a like. Let me know in the comments what you like. Subscribe for more stuff like this. Look at that legend rank. Nice and juicy. That was last season, by the way. But we're going to get legend rank again this season. Maybe, hopefully, we'll see. Anyway, maybe watch me on Twitch and see how I go on my climb in the description below. Anyway, that's it for now, y'all. Thank you all so much for watching. Enjoy the night LATIAS games in the future. Peace.